Hey guys, welcome back to the video. Now we're back with part 2 of the Sunbreak wishlist. Let's get into it. Okay, more silk bind skills and switch skills. So similar to GU, when GU came out, we got one new art for each weapon. I think in Rise we should get probably around 3, as it's already 3 switch skills. If you can get at least 1 for each category of switch, that would be fantastic. If you get more than that, I would love that. If you could get 2 for each, or if you could get, I don't know, but I mean, getting more would be fantastic. More switch skills or silkbind skills, really juice it up. And even your basic skill, maybe you could switch that out. So each weapon you can choose for both, not just choose for the one. But there were some weapons with the switch skill people didn't really like and they barely used it, which will come up in a later one, probably next actually. We'll talk about that next when it comes to balance and stuff. One thing they could do, they could bring in a lot of, well, some of the skills from GU. If they're running out of ideas for them, they could just bring some of those ones back. Some of the really cool ones, like for the Lance, the Corkscrew level 3. That was a fantastic one. I love that one. Lance doesn't have well, it does have some offensive one, more of movement, but standing still, just go crazy. Like, I want to see some really cool arts come back and some new ones, like really just juice up the gameplay with these arts that work well with skills as well. That it's just gonna make so much more build crafting and it's gonna make it so much more juicy. Alright, more collabs and better events. Like, this is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, everyone pretty much agrees that the events and the collabs, well, mostly the events weren't that good. The collabs were good. I think the collabs are good, but we need more collabs. Like, I'm surprised we didn't see Nintendo collabs. So many IPs that we had in the past we had collabs with other games. Just, you know, for new weapons and new armors, that would be fantastic. Like, we had collabs with Link in the past, Mario, Star Fox, Akami, which we did have in this one, and that was really good. What else? Metroid. Like, we had a lot of good ones. Fire Emblem, but in this game we didn't have any Nintendo collabs. It could have to do with COVID. We don't know. Plans shifted maybe on release dates of games and collaborations side by side with the games. It's hard to say. It's possible. I don't know, but we'll leave that one at that because just more in general would be better. But when it comes to events need to be better in general. Monster Hunter has already had amazing events in the past. Events were way too easy at the start. As soon as the game came out, there should have been events in the game already. It didn't need to be a post-game thing. It could have been a thing that you do on the way. Harder monsters, more rewards for doing harder monsters with multiple monsters. It could just be something as simple as that. And maybe get a cool weapon in the end, or maybe not. Maybe you just get more rewards and for really hard quests, like going through the game and doing that's fantastic, or for a lot of money or for a lot of HR. But doing it after the game, people are like, I've already finished the game, I've already played a lot, why am I doing it then? Depending on contents of when you release stuff changes people's state of mind, and state of mind is everything. Once you finish the game and you think it's easy, releasing something hard after, the state of mind has already shifted to, I don't see the point of doing that, as there's nothing, it's not benefiting me. So those type of stuff should have came earlier. This Apex Azor, super strong Azor, should have came earlier. As soon as an Apex monster got added to the game, because they didn't get added all at launch for certain reasons, but as soon as one came into the game, it should have added a buffed up super strong monster type. And there should have been loads of them for quests. I don't know why there wasn't, but yeah, there should have been more. The way they're releasing them, they're not hard enough, they're too easy, and definitely in their start, it made people disappointing. It gave people a bad taste in the mouth from the start. If they were really hard at the start, and then you came out with some easy ones in the middle, or hard one with an easy one like you did with the Azos one, it's everyone wins, right? Everyone wins, and this is just making these event quests aren't too hard. It's literally just reusing the quest system that you create to make quests or events, and just changing up the numbers. Like, it's quite simple. You guys, Monsters Capcom have been doing this for years, so it should be much better. Like, come on. Hopefully in Sunbreak they really hammer this down and they fix what they slightly made a mistake on. I mean, this one's pretty obvious, but new maps, it seems like we're getting at least one new map. We don't know how many new maps. They said new locales. I don't know if that counts like boss arenas or new arenas, but hopefully, I mean, I'm thinking minimum. If they have 2 new maps, that'd be great. But who knows, man? Who knows? I mean, they actually said new locales, so who knows? It could be 3. I don't know about that. 2 would be great for me. I would accept 1 because we got 1 for Iceborne. But if it was two or three, that would be absolute fantastic for me. You know what? Maybe even some returning maps, deserted islands, maybe. You know, that would be really cool. And for some of the newer maps, maybe we can see, I don't know, maps in the mountains, a map with really high up areas, a map underground, not like volcano map, but something that's really down, like a cave map, maybe like a big water area. It's not really like underwater, but just a lot of sea, a lot of rivers, ponds, or so on. That would be really cool. Like, there's so many cool ideas that hopefully we can see. Endgame. So we're gonna split this into two parts. So endgame, firstly, just having it more engaging, more endgame options for people to play in, more monsters to fight, more armor to grind, more weapons to grind, and this goes back to harder monsters as well, and hyper monsters and so on. This will just add on to each other, and new monsters as well, variants, subspecies. It all comes in together. Like I said, it's pretty much the same as I said in my other video, that Rise is misconception of Rise video. Like, everything comes together in Monster Hunter. All the elements fit together. So when you kind of break one part of it, for some people, they disconnect. So making it more engaging by difficulty and options on how you actually farm and the monsters you can farm would be great. Next, trying to balance it for short and long-term play. For Rise, definitely they try to balance it for shorter terms of play for people. If they can balance it more for the longer term, so more grinding, more options, more upgrade methods, more monsters, more difficulty, more quests. You know, monsters with 2 quests for more rewards, or 4 quests, 4 monsters for more rewards, hunter fawns, and so on and so on. Like, that will just really boost up people's enjoyment of the game. But of course, you know, there needs to be some option for people who don't want to spend that much time, and mostly there is. You know, you can just grind that one weapon, one raw weapon, and you can just use that for whatever you want to do. Get through the game, it should be fine. But I mean, it's going to be hard, then if you optimize, but it's still doable, and I think that would be fine, honestly. Now we come down to the last part. So one person said in my Discord, less reliance on spirit birds, and I wasn't too sure about this one. I mean, spirit birds are barely reliable at the moment. I mean, reliant at the moment. You don't really need to go out your way to get them. There are some quests that make it much easier. Let's say the buffed up event quest for Rajang, and then also when it comes to things like what's it called, the buffed up, what's that monster, Azos. But you never really rely on them, so it's more like an optional thing. And then someone else did say that, you know, making it so you max out your HP and stamina with meals, so now the maxes can go up to like 200 and something, depending on your petalace. But that's not normally the max, right? The max is 150, and you can get to 150 by meals. You can just get higher by spirit birds. So, and I think that's personally fine. What I think there's not enough reliance on them, actually. I think they need more reliance. I think the game should be hard enough. There should be a situation where the games can be hard enough where you'd want to go out your way to get spirit birds, because right now you don't really need them for most situations. They're nice, but they're not necessary. I think if the game is harder, these spirit birds will just be, people will look at them in a more favorable way. I can't really see people looking at them in a negative way. Right now I can just see people looking at them as, oh, they're just something that exists. But, you know, I think it's a really cool element, along with a lot of the endemic life. Really cool elements. Definitely endemic life is pretty much perfect in Rise. But if the game is more difficult in general, and there's harder quests and more monsters to fight in quests, this should just be more important, and I think it will be better. So like I said before, making Wyvern Riding optional. So what I'm thinking, one of the options I'm thinking is when you hit a monster and you get the Wyvern Riding animation, you just have to press that certain button to activate it. If you have your weapon out and you press a certain button, you have to put your weapon away and then probably get it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's a certain button with your weapon out as well. But if you hit them with your weapon out, you shouldn't be forced to just jump on it, because you might be in the middle of something. There's so many times when my friend has rival within something and he's like, oh, I never meant to do that. Literally every quest, because he never means to do that, but it just turns up happening. So if the game can make it so you have to press a certain button to do it, a special action button, great. If not, you can keep on hitting the monster. And even if you hit your monster in the Wyvern Riding situation, maybe the damage is a bit reduced, just to balance it out a bit. Who knows? Or maybe it's increased. I don't know. I think it's a good element. It could be like a break mechanic that, you know, when you get the Wyvern Ride, you can keep attacking them, and you just do some nice, better damage. There's options there for balance, and I think it would be really cool overall, either way. Now, last on the list, someone said underwater combat, and I don't think that's going to happen. That's more of like a Monster Hunter 6 rather than an expansion thing for Sunbreak, because it's something that you need to build up from the ground up rather than you continue on your way. There's a lot of elements that go into developing a system like this, underwater combat, underwater monsters, and yeah, underwater is fantastic as it brings in a lot of new type of monsters like the Guy-Crus, Gobu, in the previous games. So I wish it could come back. I don't think it's coming back. It's probably a Monster Hunter 6 thing if it does happen, or in the future, who knows. But underwater combat is very missed for me. But that was it, guys, for this video. So if it was a bit long, let me know what you think below. Let me know some of your suggestions. I really like the list we had here. We had some really cool ones. More monsters that I didn't talk about before. It's like things like Cyclops monsters would be great for different variant types. Other things, you know, I was thinking about is better post-launch support. People said that in the Discord. That would be amazing. Someone said a Metal Gear Peace Walker to show up in Sunburn. He called it Sunburn. That's Colin from the Discord. That's quite interesting. My boy Mango, you know, he loves Nergi, so he wants to see Nergi and Laggy back, Giganox back. My boy Alwood was talking about collabs. Ufta, he's the one who actually talked about Waifu rework, which is cool. We talked about nerfing as well, nerfing counters, which is really cool, really important. I didn't talk about that one. Nerfing counters would be great. In fact, I might add that in earlier in this video. Buffing AI, he said, you know, he loves Magnum Arlo. She was first thing Magnum Arlo. He wants a Magnum Arlo variant or Apex or something, which would be great. Yeah, so thanks for all the suggestions, guys. You know, spam with Magnum Arlo variant and more Apexes, both crabs. Them talking about brutes and insects and so on. Sly as well, talking about Wirefall and all this stuff. Barryton talking about all these this long list of monsters he wants and variants. He loves Gosrag as well, so it would be cool to see that. Pigeon, he wants snakes, I think, or something. Thanks to Shibs talking about new monsters and hyper and tempered monsters. Like, great suggestions. So thanks everyone. I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.